Whatever the hour, whatever the film or the Eurovision drama, it's coffee time. This is Emmanuel calling from Coffee Break, where we take a break and discuss about films, Eurovision and much more. Grab yourself a mug of hot tea or coffee, take a sip and let's dive into this. Let's talk about my 2027 Best Supporting Actor Oscar predictions. Paul Giamatti for the debut is one of my absolute locks for this category. He's going to be opposite Julianne Moore in Jesse Eisenberg's upcoming film. And come on, it's Paul Giamatti, we have to give him an Oscar at some point. And this role seems to be very much so tailored to his assets as an actor. Jesse Eisenberg directed Kieran Culkin to an Oscar win, so he could pull it off again with Julianne Moore in Actress and Paul Giamatti in Best Supporting Actor, who I currently have in. And then we have another overdue actor for a nomination, and it's John Goodman for Digger. I've heard that he will have a very meaty role, and I would love for him to be part of the awards conversation again, because he has never been nominated for an Oscar. I mean, he was even nominated at Golden Globes for Barton Fink, and he didn't end up getting in. And he's such a brilliant character actor. I mean, from The Big Lebowski, I love Jeff Bridges in that movie, but John Goodman is on his level in some scenes. I mean, he's that good in that movie. So funny, so hilariously awesome, and he also gave a chillingly brilliant dramatic performance in 10 Cloverfield Lane, and he was very good in Barton Fink as well, and Argo, and he's just been such a well-respected actor who has never had the chance to be part of the awards conversation and actually make it in, so it's such a great opportunity to have him be Oscar nominated. And if Digger is a very major awards movie, then he will definitely come along for the ride and actually be competitive to even win if his performance is that good. And then we have Jeremy Strong for The Social Reckoning. This performance is kind of a risk. I'm not convinced that it's going to fully work, but he's playing a real-life character and it's a physical transformation of sorts, and he's in an Aaron Sorkin film playing Mark Zuckerberg. And he is Jeremy Strong, who was very recently nominated for playing Roy Cohn in The Apprentice. I mean, you can't get more baity than that. It's an Aaron Sorkin movie, and it's probably going to be part of the awards conversation and might get in lots of above the line categories like picture and screenplay, adapted screenplay, and actors for Mikey Madison, so he could definitely come along for the ride. I just can't not have him in currently, you know what I mean? I know that we were also talking about him in that way for Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, where he was in the conversation to coattail Jeremy Allen White for a nomination, but that didn't happen obviously, and this could be another situation where the movie doesn't work and gets lots of backlash, and it's viewed as an unnecessary sequel to The Social Network. And if the movie receives enough vitriol, which it might do, but then again, I might be spending too much time on X, where it is having lots of negative reactions, then he could definitely fall off and win the Raz. There is no in between, but he definitely is one to look out for. Steve Buscemi for Wild Horse 9. Now, I've very much so expressed my doubts for Wild Horse 9, and we have another actor, Sam Rockwell, who is currently in the conversation for the same category, for the same movie. And similarly with Mariana Di Girolamo and Parker Posey, who I don't think both will get in. There is a similar situation here where Steve Buscemi is, like John Goodman, a very well-respected character actor and has shown up in so many movies. And this is a chance to nominate him, so the Academy might actually do it, even if Sam Rockwell is frauded in supporting and so has much more screen time. I'll have to see the movie first, but Steve Buscemi is definitely on my radar, and in a field of 5, I just have him in. And before I give you my final slot, let's talk about a few other names that I think might show up in this category. Mark Ruffalo in Being Human is a potential coattail to Ruth Madeley, who I'm currently predicting to get in at actress, and if the movie is strong enough and gets in at picture and director as I'm currently predicting, then Mark Ruffalo gets nominated all the time in supporting actor and he could pull it off again, but we have to give him a win at some point. And I don't really think that he could win for this movie, but he might be really good in that and be like, yes, Mark Ruffalo has a chance to be competitive and win in this category. But right now I just don't know. I actually know next to nothing. Actually nothing about his performance, just the fact that he's Mark Ruffalo and he's in a movie that I'm predicting to be an awards movie, and I mean that is enough to have him floating around, but not nearly enough to have him in the final 5. Channing Tatum for Josephine is someone who I thought earlier on in the season will definitely be part of this category, but currently I have Josephine to get in 0 categories, and Channing Tatum, as I've heard, is not like a slam dunk where he gets in regardless of the movie's awards success, and the movie right now doesn't have a major distribution behind it, and it has had very good reviews from Berlin and Sundance, but it might just not be enough to have it get in at picture and director and supporting actor and screenplay. So if the movie does resurfaces and he's also an actor who lots of people admire and actually respect him and want to see him get in at the Oscars, then he could definitely get in at Critics' Choice and Golden Globes and what have you, and slowly but surely earn a slot in the Best Supporting Actor category. Edward Norton in The Invite. As I talked about, The Invite is a movie that I'm very excited to watch. It's currently playing in theaters and I will watch it at some point very soon, I hope. And he has had lots of acclaim for his performance and lots of awards buzz, and he's supposed to have a monologue near the end, and I'm very excited to see it. I love Edward Norton. I wasn't a huge fan of his last nomination for A Complete Unknown. I think that was sort of a womp nomination, but again, he will have a very juicy role and the movie might actually get in at not director, but picture and adapted screenplay and maybe supporting actress for Penelope Cruz, and has had such good reviews. I mean, the critical and sort of audience reaction has been near flawless. It's a very highly regarded movie thus far, and if I do see it eventually and see the performance for myself and realize how memorable it is, then maybe I will have to move him up and include him in my final 5. Tom Holland for The Odyssey is one that I am either going to be completely wrong about or going to be very right about, because I do have faith in Tom Holland and I think that he is a very good actor, or he can be, when he's not wearing a Spider-Man suit, and I love him as Spider-Man, but he's also a very good dramatic actor. Everyone who has seen The Impossible will think so as well, and I would love for him to get a little bit of awards buzz for his performance in The Odyssey. And from the trailers, it seems like he will have a role that might be nomination worthy, but I'll have to watch the movie first, and it's not like Anne Hathaway, who definitely seems like she will have major awards chances, or Matt Damon. He's sort of a third in priority, and this might be an uphill battle for him. And finally, Colman Domingo for Michael. I didn't really take to his performance. I think that his performance was too over the top, too shallow, and it would be sort of a lame nomination if it happens. But then again, he doesn't really look like himself. It's a physical transformation with lots of makeup playing a real life person, and if Jafar Jackson gets in Best Actor and the movie gets in a few techs, then he could also come along for the ride. So who do I have as my current final slot in Best Supporting Actor? And as I talked about in my Best Actor prediction video, I think that Robert Pattinson is going to get in for something, and I currently have him for Dune Part 3. He's going to have a makeup-heavy, villainous performance in Dune Part 3, a movie that I currently have overperformed Dune and Dune Part 2. Let's say it gets in adapted screenplay and director, and Robert Pattinson has had a very prolific 2026, and he's in the drama and the Odyssey and Primetime, and say none of those performances get anywhere except for Golden Globes and some other precursors, then we can have him in Best Supporting Actor. He's a very good actor and has proven himself that he is a very versatile actor, and it could be a very cool, and it could make for a very cool surprise nomination. So my 2027 Best Supporting Actor predictions as of July is Paul Giamatti, The Debut, John Goodman, Digger, Jeremy Strong, The Social Reckoning, Steve Buscemi, Wild Horse 9, and Robert Pattinson for Dune Part 3. And that is a wrap. Thanks so much for watching, I do appreciate it. Also, make sure to follow me on multiple social media platforms including Letterboxd for more film related content, and X and Pinterest. The links are in the description. Can't wait for more coffee breaks. Until next time, pour yourself a fresh one.